All right, all you devils out there, happy Friday. Oh, what is it, 1:15 for me here in Austin. God, I've been digging for a while. I just can't get over some of the TA here, right? It really, well, we'll talk about it here. I'm just literally gagging on diagonals. It's everywhere. Everywhere I look, I've just got diagonals, and that's, well, if you're a bull, these are not the launch points we'd hope for. Now, of course, diags can be part of one waves, right? So we could potentially have much of that happening. We're just going to get an unusual start to the bullish cycle. I remain hesitant to be really full throttle on getting bullish here. So let's start with Bitcoin because this will dictate everything, and this is the conundrum here. Now, I should start by saying, you know, as I will often credit my team here, all of these guys are better Elliotticians, and when I say that, I mean they're more academically advanced. They've got higher levels if you use Elliott Wave International as the standard. They're all level 3. They've done much more technical work on it than I have. I'm only a level 1. The difference between us is that I've just been trading for most of these guys 20 years longer than they have, right? But I'm old now, so it's hard for me to be in conflict with these guys, but I am, and I'm kind of waiting for the market here to show us, right? Which is always a good idea. If you're in doubt, regardless of anything you see online, if you don't see it, don't trade it. Don't go off of somebody else's opinion, right? I mean, what we try to do is teach you how to do this yourself. So as I look at this, I try to be as objective as I possibly can, and I'm very aware. It's not just my team, right? I'm seeing very skilled Elliotticians that are just absolutely committed to this being a one wave. Well, they're doing it a couple of different ways. Let me get a higher degree up here. Oh, let's get something fat here, and let's put that in white here. This is now. You get his ears, I say. Right? I mean, I pay attention to maybe, I don't know, a handful of other Elliotticians, right? And so to kind of watch what they're doing if it's dramatically at odds with what I'm seeing. I see it two ways, right? So my team, right? Again, we'll get to the point here. My team is seeing this. We're going to do a diag in here, right? 3, 3. Now you can do this here. Let me draw it here. You can do this as a 3. You can also do it as a 5, right? You can do this as an impulse or as an ABC, which is making this tricky, right? So 1, 2, 3, right? 4 is in, and we're going to do it here. If I move the trend lines here, we're going to do it this way, right? And 5 is coming. Well, here we've got a perfect algo tag at a 50. Oh, I should probably take this off for the time being. It's just crowding things up. Okay, so we're going to go ABC. So it's ABC, or fuck, it doesn't matter, right? 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Is that 3? Okay, no, all right. So if we're going to call this 3, maybe we do something tighter here to get the 4 pushes over here. It's just not what I see, right? So you have to trade what you see. I just don't see this. So number one, right? Again, I try to be respectful of my team as well as some very skilled Elliotticians and say, what is it they're seeing? How are we getting? How are you so bullish, right? So the consensus is that, well, again, probably a few with share my view. This is our low. This is our absolute low, and we're off to the moon from this, right? We're off to 100K. With this is our low, so we're going to do it as a oh, fuck, it doesn't matter, right? So this is our low. So whether it's WXY or WXABC into the Y, right? So we're finished. So this is our launch. I've seen it this way as well. 1, WXY, 3, 3, right? So, but here you'd have to turn this into a 5. I don't think that's a 5. I think that's a force fit. Whether you're doing it here, that's a 3, that's a 3, that's a 3, that's a 3. This open to interpretation, annoyingly, right? It's open to interpretation. You could do it either way. Now here, this is how I've got it, which is more consistent with the count that I'm seeing, right? So if I can bring this up a little bit here, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We don't overlap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? 1, 2, impulse 3. Perfectly valid. ABC, we go sideways, right, as a 4, right? How do we spot the 4, right? We don't progress the trend, right? So we go sideways, squared up for the 5, right? So I get a 1 if I draw it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right look. Well, extension in the 1. It's certainly the right look, right? Now, can you do it as an A, B? Yeah, you can. Right? How are you going to do that? Well, so well, fuck it, I don't know that it matters, right? A, B, C is how you're going to do that. So this is not going to be a 1, it's going to be an A. This is going to be a B. And then we're going to do this as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a C, right? To get the C. Okay, right, again, this is frustrating, right? When it could go either way. No one's going to know until we get resolution here. But if we're doing it that way, A, B, C, then this, right? We're going to call this a 3. Again, you can only, put money at risk if you have conviction in your analysis, right? That's not what I'm seeing. So this is what I see, and I think it's the odd thing is I'm the biggest bull of my entire team, right? For Bitcoin long term, right? And I'm the one who's reluctant to be a buyer here because I see 3, 3, 5, right? So this gives me, as I look at it, this is the same thing I've been saying for the last several weeks since we did this, that this is an ABC. 3, 3, 5. Now, the purists might say, well, so you think that's a flat? Well, in a flat, don't we need the B wave to go 90%? Well, in a perfect world, I do not consider that a rule, right? Now, the Elliotticians, we can differ on that. As far as I'm concerned, if this is a 3, I'm not, what did we do? 786 there? I think we did 786. If I go to platinum here, where are you? Right, so we go 786, 764, right? So, again, I'm not a purist, right? So I'm not going to say, oh, well, I can't call that a flat. I cannot possibly call this a flat because we didn't go to 90%. I think that's just stupid, right? Let's not be stupid about it. Right, my view, right? That's my opinion, right? I could be completely wrong. The other thing to consider here, if we're doing this as a diag, this is a contracting diag. If this is, whether it's A, B, or A, B, C, A, B, C, if this is the 3, we're doing a contracting diag where again, for Bitcoin, I can see it as a leading diag. If we're going to do something, like this, we're going to have a leading diag, but that's not what we're getting. This would be a contracting diag, right? So again, I just am at odds with all the bulls out there, which is just such I'm like, just upside down world, right? I'm the bear. What the hell? Well, again, that's what I see. So I'm not adding to any Bitcoin here until I get some resolution here, because what I see is that we've just put in an A wave here. If this is the X, we're looking for the Z wave, right? Here's the Y, A, B. I'm going to call this a flat, right? You differ with me if you'd like. Trade accordingly. 3, 3, 5, right? There's an X wave. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for an ABC to come down here and give me a Z. Now, we don't have to sweep this low, but you can see how that would be a reasonable target. Is the A in? Well, that's not an unreasonable spot to be looking for that. Well, you can see this nice little unmitigated order flow right here. We tapped into that, so that's burned, right? Algos have taken care of that. So that's off the board, right? So what would you anticipate now? Okay, well, right, just right by the book, right? So we might look for a B wave to come right in here, somewhere in this upper range here. Anywhere in here would be, oh, you got fair value gaps. You got a number of things that could create some resistance up there. Oh, fuck me, come here. Supply zone, that's fine. All right, so we're coming into this zone. So then it becomes a question, okay, what comes off of this? If we don't do this, now nobody knows the market's going to do what it's going to do, right? We're just trying to forecast based off of precedent. What is it? Are these patterns reliable, predictable? Well, of course, they change all the time. But if we're going to do a C, I'm looking for that A, B, C to finish my Z, to come into demand. Then give me an impulse. Then I'm buying with both hands and backing the truck up as well. It's one thing to want it to go, right? I mean, there's all the long-term macro is consistently bullish. Now as I've been, I've highlighted this here. Well, here's election and inauguration. As far as I'm concerned, I don't want to say this. as I've said for many weeks now, I think this is going to be a crazy town. I think this is going to be ugly, ugly, ugly in this country. Ugly, ugly. No matter what, this is going to be a contested election, and that creates massive uncertainty. Are people going to flock to Bitcoin, right? Or are people going to sell Bitcoin because of that uncertainty? It hasn't proven to be that asset you run to for security, at least in the short term. Now, this could all take a lot longer, too. This B, I don't know how long this B is going to take. We're just getting started here, right? Oh, okay. All right. We're going to do something like this and then come down here, right into the pocket, get through crazy. Who knows, right? Do we get through over here? Inauguration, do we get through? I don't know. I'm not optimistic about this period of time, but that's my opinion, and I could be wrong, right? So as we look here, that's what I'm looking for. So I'm not buying. Now, if I get this, if I get a 1-2 and all of a sudden we start to go impulsive, well, I'll be quick to change my tune, right? And, egg on my face. But as a technician, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks. What do you see, right? What does your brain register as you look at these patterns in here and you qualify them? Are they qualified? Now, you could say, right, well, that doesn't qualify as a flat, right? It didn't go deep enough. Valid point. If you're a purist. I'm not, right? So that doesn't concern me. I see massive wick rejection down here. We came down and we tapped this here. All I've done is wick off this is all wick down here, right? We come right to the edge of it and now off we go. And again, in my view, I see an impulse there. So A, B, C, right? So what's next? Well, we're not going to know until we come up here and we challenge this. You can see the fair value gaps in there. I think I've got, where's my inverse right there, right? So we've got a couple of fair value gaps up here. Market will be drawn to, right? I want to fill those imbalances. Then what happens next? I think this is influencing the whole market because we have very few clean launches off of this last retracement. There are a few, right, which we're going to focus on. So I know here I spent a lot of time on Bitcoin. Because it's going to, it leads, right? So what Bitcoin does, everything else likely to follow. Okay, so with that said, I just think it's too soon to call it. My view is here, if you're a buyer, I wouldn't be expecting, a straight line to new highs. Now, again, I could certainly be wrong. Okay, that's my view there. Now let's go look at a couple. The only thing I bought today, well, let me pull this down. So hang on a sec. Just to finish up on Bitcoin before I move over to another asset here. The weekly here, there's no change here in the longer term outlook. Right? My longer term view that we're going up for that 5 and that's 100, 110, 150, right? We're going to complete this impulse. That is not in dispute in my mind. It's just the timing of when we complete this when this correction completes. And MACD is just tickling the edge here of a crossover here. This is a Ichimoku. It's just showing it to you without all the shit on the chart, right? So you're getting that a little bit of a cross here. So all of this right in the edge of value. I'm not saying it can't go. I'm just saying I'm not buying it here, right? That's all I'm saying. Okay. What does look good? ETH. I'm not even going to bring it up. It's such a shit show. I have no idea what's going on in ETH. So until it reveals its intentions here, I'm gonna stay away from it. I have no idea what the count is in there. It's just very confusing. So let's not waste any time on it. Solana, this is one of those assets that's trading. This is such perfect Elliott. Again, when I say that, I don't mean my analysis of it. I mean the way it's trading. It's just unbelievable, up and down. Right, up and down. This final 5 finishing here. This 1-2, the impulse into the 3. Then we go sideways here. Now we've just done, this is kind of what I had anticipated for Bitcoin. We didn't get it. W, X, A, B, C, D, E. Bought it today. Right before, in fact, I was hurrying to buy it because I was late getting started here. Right, I couldn't buy it fast enough. Right, so I saw the ping here. Right, my alarm went off here, and then I had to move tether from one exchange to the next, right, where I could buy it. So I've got a beautiful looking 4 coming in here. Now, let's just pull this back here just for a second. And let me get you, hang on a second. I had that as an alert. So where are we putting in this 4? Now note I am in log scale. So let's pull from the 2 to complete the 3. Where's our 4? Let's get our wave 4 here. 23 to the tick. Now, by no means am I saying this can't come down lower, but certainly you have a technical event here that, again, you got to trade what you see, right? So I see this beautiful ending, the triangle here to give us the Y of the 4. We've tagged this. I've got everything I'm looking for. I've got 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, right? So now do we get it? Well, right. I mean, if you're not in, you could wait for that, right? And start to see what we're anticipating now is not another diag. What we're anticipating is an impulse. Right? Now, do we get it? Well, if we launch with this, right? Again, I don't know what we're going to get here, but if we launch with that, that's not going to be the 5. That's going to be the 1 of the 5. And from here, we could indeed start with a diag, right? It seems to be what's happening in crypto. We're going to do something like this. We get an expanding, a leading diag, right? Where you'd want to see that in a 1 wave or an A wave, right? It leads, not contracting, right? That ends. That ends. I won't try it. Right. So I'm pretty fucking long here, but I just added more based off of that, right? If you see that, you know, the point is to act, not to go, well, let's just see what happens, right? I've been waiting for this since it started. Boom, there it is. Right into an imbalance, fair value gap, right on the trend line. What? Stop very clear, right? We put stop right there. So very low risk. Right? I mean, you can get into this for, oh, shit. You know, maybe you get a little pullback there. Oh, it's annoying to do it in log here. Let's do it like this. So right there. Minimum target would be that high, 7 to 1. That's assuming, right, all we're going to do is come up here and sweep that high before we retrace. It's not a bad trade. I could recommend it. Oh, I just bought it, right? So for what that's worth, right? But again, it's not, don't do it because I bought it. Do it because you see the same thing. Maybe you do, maybe you don't. But here is one of the few times where the ABC here, all of this, you got an A triangle B. It's a little chunky down in there, but ABC, ABC. That's good, right? Low risk, very low risk, high reward. Why would you not take that trade? Well, one thought would be, well, if Bitcoin's rolling over, perhaps this rolls over, and all of this, you know, we're down here looking at something else, right? And we just go into a range. Again, I'm not saying this is not possible, right? You know, I mean, there is no guaranteed trading, right? There's just what you see, risk, reward, and money management. That's it, right? As you hear me say all the time, right? Solving the puzzle, right? That's the fun part. Once you're in the trade, right? That's where the skill gets tested. Okay, there's Solana. Okay, let me keep moving. This is another holding of mine here. Not to pump my own book, right? But I'm just happens to be things I'm looking at because I'm in them. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now this is the same problem, right? And you can see this across all the alts. That's not the launch I want there. That's 3, 3 is the low in. Well, we can't really call this in until we break this. There's the inducement, right? This is the pivot, right? All of this, right? As we come down here, this is all one leg. There is no retrace, right? So until we sweep that, we don't actually confirm this low. We can see the equal lows down here, right? That were swept, right? It's a launch point, but is that, it's not the, well, what would you, perhaps, right? If you're just determined to be bullish, oh, fuck, what are you going to do here, right? You're going to, doesn't look like it's done. Right, so you're going to do, again, it's so much of crypto is doing the same thing. So you're thinking, oh, I'm going to do a diag here. Oh, it's ABC. Let's go to an 8, see if I get any better separation there. Is that, you have to do it here? All right, it doesn't work, right? Because you need the ABC here. ABC. Looks like you might be able to get it done here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. Again, right? Is that? I want to give you things to buy here, right? And I'm long as hell here, right? It's been very for an alt, right? I got a pretty big position here. But I'm not adding. I don't like this. If you don't like it, don't force anything. What can I see with conviction, with certainty? I got a pretty good looking 3 here. This is not what I wanted. Now, maybe we pump up here, we get something like this. Maybe this is going to be A, B, C. We're going to get a bigger 3. Again, I want a leading diag, not a contracting diag, right? If I can get it, right? I mean, again, I'm not saying you can't ever have a contracting, you know, one wave. Again, that's a little too much purity for me. But, okay, that's not the launch I want. So the only thing I can see here with any certainty is we just swept the liquidity there. Okay. Right, so that's a little micro break of structure, right? After every pivot, what do we expect? Retrace. What do we get? Retrace. 1 for the watch list here, but I need a better launch, right? It's just not a good launch point for me. If it goes up higher, I'd also be thinking, oh, WX, maybe we have to come down, right? Much like Bitcoin. One to watch here, but I'm reluctant here. Again, I'm kind of taking you through things that I'm in because this is what I'm watching, but it's not there. It's just not there. Another example here. I'll just keep spinning through these, right, just to keep the idea flowing here. This had the potential here. It looked like we might go 1. Maybe you could do the ABC here and go 1, 2, 3. Nope. Looks more to me like we just did another X. Again, right, so here I'm over on BloFin, right, our sponsor, right? When I can, I want to go over to BloFin, right, because we've had a very good relationship with them and encourage you to consider them if you're looking for another exchange. Links below, all right, there's my little promo. 1 WXY. That's not the one I wanted. Now, could we still get out of here? Yeah, well, yeah, you could, right? So if I push these off just for a second, right? Could we maybe have a diag going in? Well, let's consider it, right? So this would be, oh shit, I guess we'd do 1, 2, A, B, C, 3. That's not a 3, right? So we'd have to put the 4 down here, and we're going to do the 5 here. So let's get this off for a second and consider some trend lines. Could we do it this way? This way. We're going to do a leading diag this way. Well, I want that 4. I want a good 3 in here. Right, let's not compromise on everything. Okay, I mean you could even do it here, because this looks like you can get a 5 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. It's a little squishy. A, B, C. Okay, all right. So again, same thing, right? Okay, don't force it. If it goes, let's say, oh shit, I missed it. God, it was a leading diag and I missed it. Well, relax. You're not going to miss anything. If that's the case, if we go up here and do that, right, we can anticipate the retrace right now. Okay, right now there are times where things are just going to launch, right, and everybody feels like, oh God, man, when it goes, things are just going to scream higher. There'll be no chance to get in. Does that happen? Yeah, that happens, right? But that's not the norm, right? You want to anticipate based on what do they usually do, right? I mean, all we get is probabilities, right? So to forecast that, oh, it's going to be radically explosive this time. We're not going to have any retracements. This, certainly, right? The market's going to do what it's going to do. But how do you want to approach it? You're going to put the 4 here in a leading diag. You're going to call that a 3. Well, you're doing that just because you want to, not because that's what's actually there. That's a 5. That's an impulsive move. It's not corrective. Well, let's see. Is there any way to force fit that? 1, 2. No, not really. Ugh, Jesus Christ. Even that looks like, so it looks like you got an ABC here. This looks like A, B, C going in there. So it looks like, what does it look like, right? Just what is the swing structure? That looks like A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's an A. Here, let's label them. All right, so that looks like A going on B, looking for C. Much like what we're seeing right across the board, think Bitcoin, right? They're all going to follow it. Into that imbalance for a B, down for the C. Is that what we're doing? All right, C would be down here. We can see the trend line. That could take longer. Right, just a little imbalance here. Algos will want to come back and rebalance that. Well, where would you, I'm not saying short it, but if you were considering a short, wouldn't that be kind of the zone you'd look for, right? Got a big supply zone up here that's been tagged, so that's actually been burned, right? We don't have to worry about that anymore. That's been fully mitigated. So A, B, C, okay, I can live with that. I want that BC, I want that, right? Come down here for the 4, but right, it's green banana, right? It's not right there. All right, that's Doge. Let me keep going. I got a couple more alts, and then I'm going to wrap it up here. WIF. Okay, right, trying to accommodate the bullish case, right? Well, let's see. Let's go to an 8. See if that cleans up any better. Well, that's the low here, so you're kind of stuck with that. It's hard to. You can get a 5 here. Jesus, you might have to do it here, because that 1, 2, 3, 4. The wick takes you up for the 5. Let's see if let's go to the 4 here, see if that gets any better. Right, you see this little pump wick, right? It's obviously what happened here. Oh, I can't imagine what happened there. Oh, imbalances here. I have it up there. Oh, they've already been filled, right? So they're not, so they're already there. So you can see them though. All of this here was in here, right? So we get that gets tapped and gets filled in here, right? So it's all mitigated. Okay, so let's say you're an uber bull here, and you're gonna go, oh fuck, WXY, right? So let's just call that, right, our combo. Sharp correction, 1, 2, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, wicks the 5. A, B, C. Well, let's see if we can put something together here. We'd have to do it this way, right? So this would be at the next degree. 1. I think you're gonna have to do it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 3? Or is that 3 getting finished? Well, we're back into a diag again, gagging on diags. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yep, it's there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's get it in there. All right, it's worthwhile to do this, right? You might think, oh God, would I have to do all this numbering, right? Well, it'll give you a whole lot more conviction in your trading. Do it, don't do it. I would encourage you to put the effort in, right? It's not supposed to be easy. 1, 2. Okay, it's a stretch for a 1, 2, A, B. Oh shit, A, B, A, B, C into the 2. Well, it doesn't play good ball there for an Elliottician, right? Because oh whoa, 1, 2, right? I don't get an impulse. So what's the next thought? Oh, am I doing a diag here? You see, I mean, again, this is I'm trying to be as bullish as I can here. I just there's no play, with the exception of Solano. There's just no place where it's just like, oh, beautiful, come on, baby. It's not ripe. It's not ripe. All right, 1 or 2 more, and let me wrap. Here's something that I'm not complaining about, how the technicals are not accommodating a bullish bias here. Well, here's something that's nice and clean. Sushi over on Coinbase. 1, 2, 3. Well, we looked at this last week, right? There's that one here. I can take it off, right? So there's the order block that got tapped. Little retrace. 1, 2, 3, right? God, I mean, this is just exactly what you're looking for. You're going through chart after chart after chart. Well, God damn, is there something that's not in a diag or not ripe for a trade? Well, you'll note here my little alarm here. Hang on a second. My wife. Okay, 1, 2, 3, coming in for a 4. Right, so is it ready? Well, right, we're going to do all this correction this quickly? I'd suspect not, right? I'd be looking for something like that. So is it ripe? Not quite, right? But did I draw that? Oh no, that's a inverse fair value gap, right? So we already tapped it. So coming back the other direction, you'd have an inverse, right? That often that can be a good trigger point. So A, B, C into that 4, right at the 38, right at the inverse fair value gap, up for the 5. Closely watching this one. But again, now if Bitcoin does what I anticipate it's going to do, which is roll over one more time, that brings everything with it, right? And everything comes down to hopefully, right? Again, that would clarify some of the TA on some of these counts, right? Again, you don't have to live and die with Elliott Wave. It's just if it's useful and if it's helping you, use it, right? I mean, it helps me, which is why it's what we teach, and it's why I apply it to every chart. If I can, if it's there, right? Is there a 5 here and a 3 here? Yeah, I think we could agree on that. Is this the foundational start, right? Now this could be ABC. I don't know for sure. This is an impulse. Sure looks promising though. I mean, where do they usually go? Well, this one we want 200% the length of the one. Right here, we pivot right here, 3, 4. I mean, you could if this does something deeper, what are you going to do? You're going to be back here thinking, oh God, damn, I misread that. There it is, right there. Right? Why would you come to that conclusion? Because of what I just measured. Is that we're going to do it that way? Well, that's not what I see right now, but we certainly have the potential that this rolls over that direction. Right? We do it this way: 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? Or the 4. Let's go to an 8. Right, 3, where do we go sideways? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get that to finish. 1, 2, let's go to a 4. There might be a little more in there. Oh shit, how do I get some of this off? It gets a little bunchy up there. It's hard to make that call with a whole lot of conviction because it's not 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like that's a 3. Let's go below. What do we got? Right, here's the big push in the 1. Here's the 3. Is this the 5 of the 3 about to roll over? Well, you keep going down until you can get that separation. Does that look like we've got? Well, certainly we have all of this divergence here. That's not hard to spot. Looks like there's a 3 here. So this could be coming down here. We look in there. Looks like you got a whoa. Yeah, I think I'd have to put it here. A, B, 1, 2, 3, 4. It looks like that's got one more to come. Well, let's keep it simple, right? It could be a combo, but A, B, 1, 2, 3. Now, if it, well, let's see. All right, let's label it. 1, 2, 3, A, B, C. All right, now we wouldn't. All right, so if this is going to hold for the C to come down here, shit that doesn't happen randomly. Assuming I'm right on that. Oh, they wicked it. That would not be a deal killer for me. That little wick, right? Wicks do the damage. Bodies tell the tale. Right? That's one of my favorite quotes from ICT. Right? I give them credit where it's due. Could we have done this here? Well, you're in a diag, right? Do we have a diag? Just a little bit of a 1, 2, 3, 4. Are those 3s? You know, again, don't force things, right? You don't want to force just because you have a bias. Interesting, right? So the wick goes, we overlap this by 2 ticks, and then we go a little squirt beyond the golden zone here. It could be that we're pulling off the 50 because that's deep. So we'd be looking for the C down here. Look where that algo target is. Now, the 2 and the 4, not ideal in terms of time. I'd love it down here. I'm not going to chase it up here. I love it down here. Sushi, right? So let's go back to that 4, 1 for the watch list. Okay, don't have anything else. Give me one more second. Okay, I'll finish up with the S&P, right? Because I try to hit this every week. I continue with my primary account is that this is a WX and that we're coming down for Y because we have Y, right? All this volatility, that's the election inauguration, right? Crazy town coming. So one possibility here right now, again, I see many very skilled Elliotticians that have something completely different, that are just convinced that we're doing ABC, ABC. We're just doing a diag here, right? Again, everywhere I look, I'm gagging on diags. So I got ABC into a, well, this could be the 4. It could be. Then this would be right? I've got both counts here. This would be 1, 2 in yellow, 3, 4, 5. There's 1, A, B, C, and there's 2, 50 to the tick. There's the algo doing its thing. All right, there's Al. Okay, so we go 1, 2. Well, you could call this a completed impulse up here. As we complete here, now start the little correction. Could be an X. Well, because it could be A, B, C, A, B, C. All right, so we can go 3, 3, 5. Perhaps A, B, C. It'd be a zigzag. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A, B, C. Zigzag. All right, so that's one candidate, or it's 1, 2, 1. All right, if this is done, well, again, it's just right by the playbook. What are we anticipating? Right, retracement. Right, at least a 50. 1, 2. Right, if it's 1, 2. 1, 2. What's the other alternative? This is ABC of a 1. And we're going to do this as a diag. Again, fucking diags. All right, so the 4 is in. We're going to go ABC into a 1. Oh, shit. I mean, we could do it a couple of different ways. I mean, the 1 could be here, and this could be A of no, the X wouldn't be involved anymore, but this could be A, B, C, and we're going to do this the whole thing. We're going to finish as a diag. You know, my suggestion is not be taking any massive amounts of risk until we get on the other side of this. Now, that's a long wait. Well, we got, what, 33 days to the election? That is, we're not going to get clarity here. Like, I can just take my word for it. We're not going to get clarity here, right? They're going to be counting. They're going to be disputing. They're going to be in courts. They're going to be lawsuits. We've got a long way to go to get through this, right? To get to inauguration, and God knows what's going to happen in between. But I would not be committing large amounts of capital and putting it at risk for a long-term play until we get on the other side of this. That's just my view. I could be completely fucking wrong, right? There's no doubt about it. I'm wrong plenty, right? You don't have to be right more than you're wrong to be profitable in the markets, right? People get very confused by that idea, right? That's called money management, right? You can hit, what's the famous, it's so old, right? But we've got young traders right here, right? So if you're a baseball player, if you're in the major leagues, you get up and you get a hit 3 out of 10 times, you're on your way to the Hall of Fame. Trader, can you get 3 out of 10 trades? Well, you're not going to be profitable unless you're making more when you're right than when you're losing when you're wrong, right? It's just like trading maximum number 1, right? It's like, okay, duh. But people get so caught up in being, oh, I got to get to, you see it all over Twitter, just nonstop. Oh, look, my 50X trade I put on today, 15X trade I put on today. Here's what you don't ever see. Oh, man, I got stopped out here. I got my ass handed to me on that trade. No. It's just winners. Right? That's why we don't do that. Right? I don't make it about me. I make it about the methodology. Right? Okay. With that, I'm going to wrap it, guys. Just a reminder, right? All of our stuff is on below is our link tree, and our, BloFin is our crypto sponsor here. We're very happy with them. So lots of choices. If you want to support the channel, those are ways you can do it. Click on any of those links if you're looking for some interesting tools or some TA, or if you're interested in, building your TA skill set, right? And you like our approach, right? Again, because all I ever do when I do these videos is just apply what we teach. Okay, guys, have a good one. I'll catch you next week.